Have you ever just stopped and wondered why, in a world that is absolutely overflowing with information on how to be happy, so many of us feel more stressed out than ever? It's a weird paradox, right? Well, let's dive into this, because today we're not just going to talk about it, we're going to look at a powerful shift in how you see things and a simple experiment you can run this week to test your own inner happiness.
This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? We see headlines everywhere, Peace feeds happiness. We buy the books, we listen to the podcasts. We have all of this knowledge literally at our fingertips. So why isn't it working? Why does it feel like we're just spinning our wheels most of the time?
And this brings us to what you could call the knowledge-stress paradox. It's this giant gap between what we know intellectually and how we actually feel day to day. So let's break down why that gap even exists.
Just think about it for a second. You've got spiritual columns in newspapers, a never-ending river of self-help books topping the bestseller lists, workshops, seminars, you name it. They all promise transformation. So the information itself, that's not the problem. It's more accessible right now than at any other time in human history. And yet, here's the reality check. Despite all of that amazing knowledge, the practical result for so many of us is just more stress, more anxiety, more frustration. We'll read something totally profound. We'll nod our heads and think, yes, that's it. And then 5 minutes later, we're right back to feeling like we need something outside of us to make us happy.
So here's the real kicker. It's not about a lack of information. It's a direct conflict with our core belief systems. Think about what we're taught from childhood. Things like, you have an exam, you should be stressed. Or, look at the competition out there, of course you're anxious. These ideas get wired into us, deep down, creating this belief system that just automatically overrules any new knowledge we're trying to absorb.
Okay, so this is where we find the fundamental shift, the one thing that can change everything. It's this subtle but incredibly powerful difference between wanting peace and deciding that you are peace.
This glass analogy explains it perfectly. On the left, I want peace. Well, that's like seeing your glass is empty and basically begging the world to fill it up for you. Your happiness depends on other people, on external events going your way. But on the right, I am peace is knowing your glass is already full. Your job isn't to go out searching for more water. It's simply to protect what's already inside and not let it spill.
And this is the million-dollar question, right? It's one thing to understand this idea, but how do you actually put it into practice? How do you live it? Well, the answer isn't to just try and believe it harder. The answer is to experiment with it.
And this brings us to the core of this whole explainer, a practical, hands-on mini guide. We're going to frame this new idea as a little experiment you can run in your own life, starting today, with 3 really simple tests.
Think of these as your 3 personal lab environments. The frustration test. That's for all those small, everyday annoyances. Traffic, a slow internet connection, someone cutting in line. The expectation test is for when reality doesn't quite match your plans and you feel let down by someone or something. And finally, the identity test. That's when someone's words or actions challenge your sense of self and you feel judged or misunderstood. Each one of these is a perfect opportunity to run your experiment.
So whether you're facing a frustration test or an identity test, how do you actually pass it? Well, the mechanism behind all 3 experiments is exactly the same, and it all hinges on understanding that little bit of space between a stimulus and your response.
Okay, let's take a classic example. You're all ready to leave, but you walk outside and someone has completely blocked your car in. That event, the blocked car, that's the stimulus. It's an external thing that happens to you. And our old belief system, our old programming, says an angry reaction is natural, right? It's almost required.
But here's the most important part of this whole thing. Between that stimulus, the blocked car, and your emotional response, there is a space. It might feel tiny, like a split second, but it's there. And that space, that's your freedom. In that moment, your reaction is not automated. You have a choice. And right there, in that little gap, that's where you get to conduct your experiment. In this case, it's a classic frustration test. Do you choose the old default response of anger? Or do you choose to protect your inner state, to remember, wait a minute, I am a peaceful being, and then respond from that place instead? The choice is 100% yours.
So, what this all leads to is a profoundly empowering takeaway. You are not a victim of your circumstances or your emotions. You are the one in charge. You are the master.
This is the feeling, the conviction that comes from successfully experimenting with this idea. It's the realization that you are the creator of your own state of mind. Sure, other people can create a stimulus, but you, and only you, get to choose the response. You are the master.
So, as we wrap this up, the theory is over. The practical part begins now. The next time you feel that familiar rush of frustration or disappointment, remember that space. Your experiment starts right now. Who will you choose to be?